everyone, welcome to Medical Dialogues, your daily dose of health and medical news. I'm Roshni Dhar. Let's look at today's top medical news. Do fewer disturbances from nighttime checks translate into better sleep in hospitalized patients? Sleep has major consequences for physical and emotional well-being. Insomnia in hospitalized adults is a common condition and a source of patient dissatisfaction. A recent study published in the JAMA Internal Medicine suggests that a predictive algorithm paired with targeted and informative child decision support can assist physicians to identify stable hospitalized patients. They found no significant harm in reducing overnight vital sign checks in such patients. However, the predictive algorithm does not reduce the incidence of delirium. However, authors stated a predictive algorithm that identifies clinically stable patients for whom a hospital intervention can be safely discontinued has potential applications beyond measurement of vital signs. Continuous cardiac monitoring, higher level of care, and routine daily blood tests are all scenarios that could benefit from a similar approach. Childhood cataract associated with markedly increased risk of mental disorders. Childhood cataract is a significant cause of visual disability in infancy and early childhood. It is a chronic condition requiring intensive management. Children with cataract are more likely to come from a socioeconomically disadvantaged background, which may further increase the risk of pediatric child mental disorders. The American Journal of Ophthalmology highlights the psychological burden on children living with chronic somatic disease. In some situations, the psychological load may influence treatment outcome, as shown in studies of children and adolescents with type 1 diabetes mellitus. Management of childhood cataract often include patching of the better seeing eye to improve vision in the poorer seeing eye. Routine screening of mental health, example, using the Strengths and Difficulties questionnaire, could guide the support to these children, taking into account their mental health as well as overall quality of life in the visual and optical rehabilitation. Ketamine therapy swiftly reduces depression and suicidal thoughts. Ketamine's effects on depressive symptoms and suicidal thoughts are supported by numerous systematic reviews and meta-analysis which provide an exhaustive overview of research in a given topic published in the British Journal of Psychiatry. Open the review synthesis the evidence from a growing field of research into the potential benefit of ketamine for conditions for which there are limited effective treatments. Symptoms were reduced as swiftly as 1 to 4 hours after a single treatment and lasted up to 2 weeks. Some evidence suggested that repeated treatment may prolong the effects. However, ketamine's therapeutic effects for psychiatric conditions other than depression and suicidal thoughts are based on small number of studies that did not randomize people into different treatment arms. These effects require application in larger randomized placebo-controlled trials, which are considered as gold standard. Can oral contraceptives improve taste function in women with polycystic ovarian syndrome? Polycystic ovarian syndrome is the most prevalent endocrine illness in women of reproductive age, and it is connected with eating disorders and disordered eating. There is no evidence on taste function in women with polycystic ovarian syndrome. A new study has revealed that taste perception is impaired in patients with polycystic ovary syndrome and that short-term oral contraceptive usage has no effect on taste functioning in the disease. According to the findings of this study in Journal of Appetite, endocrine axis explains only 22% of the variation in taste perception, whereas treatment of hyperandrogenism with oral contraceptives did not result improvement in taste detection, thresholds implying that unmeasured factors may be involved in polycystic ovarian syndrome taste dysfunction. More research is needed to determine the probable pathways of taste impairment in polycystic ovarian syndrome. How regular exercise can protect against fatty liver associated diseases. Worldwide, 1 in 4 persons suffer from non-alcoholic liver disease. Those affected often have type 2 diabetes as well as an increased risk of liver cirrhosis and cardiovascular diseases. In addition, non-alcoholic liver disease is associated with increased mortality. An imbalance between energy intake and consumption is discussed as a cause for the disease. Exercise not only trains the muscles but can also prevent the development of fatty liver. A new study by the German Center for Diabetes Research shows which molecular adaptations, in particular of the liver mitochondria, can be observed in this process. The study has now been published in Molecular Metabolism, says results showed that training regulated important enzymes of glucose and fructose degradation in the liver as well as the mitochondrial pyruvate metabolism. In this way, the substrate burden for mitochondrial respiration and lipid synthesis can be reduced. They also show that regular physical activity regulates many targets at the same time, key nodes of metabolic pathways, an effect that cannot be achieved with monotherapy. That's all for today. Stay safe.
Never miss a medical update from Medical Dialogues. Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.